Hello guys, the DB Grinder here, back at it again with another video, and this time we have Ibiza versus Franco Persanio, and this is going to be a post-BODE new format match, and with that being said, let's just hop right in. So we are going to go ahead and we're going to see Franco win the rock, paper, scissors, shoot, and they are going to decide to go first, 40 versus 40, gotta love to see it. Opening hands, we have Fogblade, Tour Guide, Snake, Ash, and Ogre. Ogre's interesting, but this hand's pretty good though. They have two hand traps going second. If they were going first, their hand's pretty nice. And then they have Torn Scales, Tracker, Droplet, Boots, and Torn Scales. So this is also pretty solid. They're going to go ahead. They're going to normal summon and then special summon out Boots. Slap those in the Cherubini. Cherubini effect to go ahead and dump. And then they're going to chain Ogre. They said it's cost. They said, oh, Ogre. Did not expect that. They could have said Droplet if they wanted to like protect Cherubini from like an Ogre or like a Gamma, and then go ahead and activate Ancient Cloak, banish to go search, so they're going to search out the Stained, and then go ahead and Torn Scales, bring itself out, and then this is going to special summon itself out, and then activate Torn Scales effect. This will discard. I don't know why they just switched this to attack. I mean, it doesn't really matter. They're going to go ahead, discard, and then dump the Fogblade. And then overlay those into the Sea Dragon. Also, I have someone comment this every single time. They'll either say, oh, Stained is level 3, or oh, Stained is level 4, they're cheating. If you read this card, you can increase it by 1. So if you want to, you can make it a level 4 or a level 3. So in this scenario, it's just going to stay level 3. Go ahead and bring out the Ancient Cloak. Then they're going to special summon out the Psychic Tracker, turn those into an IP, and then turn those into a Rusty, and then activate the Rusty effect. Chain Ash Blossom there to stop that. So they can keep going here. They're going to go ahead and they're going to activate Boots, and then Boots banish to go search, searching out Shade, and then Fogblade. Activate Shade. Said this is the best deck with Enforcer. And then go ahead and get rid of those. Go for Anaconda. Said, I agree. This is definitely not a bad deck. Definitely not a bad deck. Why Ogre, though? What does it hit? So they're going to go ahead and dump Fusion Destiny. Hit Sword Soul, Flunderies, and other things. I don't know. I feel like those aren't, like, super great decks. I mean, it's, like, decent versus Sword Soul. I don't know. Maybe it's just because it's a level 3 Psychic is why they're playing it. They're going to go ahead and dump and then summon out the Enforcer, set Droplets so they have an Enforcer interruption, a Droplet interruption, and they have too much follow-up. They have Enforcer, they have Celestial, they have Ancient Cloak, they have Torn Scales, they have Rusty, the Fog. Oh, well, I was about to say the Fogblade, but this isn't Fogblade, this is Droplet. I'm so used to Fogblade being set, but they have like so much follow-up, Then pass. Draws Droplet, so they are going to go ahead and normal summon out Tour Guide effect, chain Droplet to stop that. And then in response to Droplet, they're going to chain their own Droplet, getting rid of Tour Guide, negate Enforcer, and then go ahead and Tour Guide's going to summon out Graph. So that handle was bonkers. Yeah, having like Ogre, Ash, Tour Guide, Droplet, Extender, definitely a pretty good hand. Go ahead and activate Snake, and then they just admit defeat there. Said Ogre is bad in the mirror. Yeah, wow. I mean, they were probably just assuming that they were gonna lose right there. Maybe it was worth like staying in the game. I don't know. Like if they don't end the game, like you have a ridiculous amount of follow up. Why don't you play Denier? The D hero. Yeah, you're playing Celestial. Special summon him from grave for free. Celestial is much better. Yeah, I like Celestial. The follow-up with Celestial is just too good. It's insane. We're going to see Franco be going first here. Opening hands, we have Fusion Destiny, Graph, Nib, Droplet, and Seer. So, again, like they have multiple going second cards they can play on their own turn. Kind of sucks to open up like Seer and Graph. Well, I mean, it kind of sucks to draw these like individually, but like drawing both isn't like horrible because like it's just two level 3s. So like it kind of just like two extenders And then you've gone through like your BA stuff, so Cherubini's got to dump like, you know, an Ancient Cloak to go search Torn Scales or something, depending on what they draw. And then they have Snake, Fusion Destiny, Fogblade, Stained, and Shade. So they're going to start off by setting, and then Snake effect, rolling the dice. Let's see, this will hit the Stained. Okay, summon out, draws into a Jackalope. Okay, and activate Jackalope effect. Hopefully this doesn't actually hit the Jackalope because they don't have a danger in deck here. And okay, hits Shade, summon out, draw on the E-Telly, and then go ahead and get rid of those. Go for Cherubini effect to dump. So they're gonna go ahead and dump Ancient Cloak. You know, they haven't like gone for BA stuff either game, and I guess it kind of makes sense to just not play the BAs. Like, do you even have room for them anymore? It's not like the BAs were ever like super necessary. Like, they're a good little engine in the deck, but like they're not 100% needed. I kind of feel like they're just not playing them, because like you're adding extra bricks to the deck with like Fusion Destiny. You need going second cards. You need extenders. You know, these cards are not really extenders unless if you open up like multiple of them, or if you have like combo and then you can like graph summon itself out from hand if you have Cherubini on board. But if you open up like an E-Telly plus graph, like that's not going to equal anything. So they're going to go ahead and Ancient Cloak, banish, and then go search out the Torn Scales. And then normal summon Torn Scales, go for Rusty. Set Think here. Yeah, that's the 5th summon. So they're going to go ahead and drop the Nib. So go ahead, Tribute, pass over a token, and then activate the Fusion Destiny. So this is going to dump 2, bring out the Enforcer effect, pop Nib, you know, Enforcer Graveyard effect. Yeah, use effect, yep. Set the Fogblade, pass, draw Fusion Destiny. And then this is going to come back during the standby phase, activate Graph effect here, summon itself out, and then they're going to activate Seer effect. So in this scenario, do you Enforcer pop? Like, we know they have drop with to stop it, but like, would you activate Enforcer? Because if you go ahead and Enforcer effect here to just like pop something, then they would have to have like another BA for the other BA to actually do anything, you know? So you're kind of putting them on like have a starter, and you have Fogblade. I guess you could just wait for Cherubini, or you could wait for them to set a card and then pop. Yeah. Let's see if they do that. Alright, so they're just not going to do that. Go ahead and summon Cherubini. Now if they try to pop it, they can just use this to like protect itself. They're going to go ahead and dump the Ancient Cloak. And then Ancient Cloak effect, banish to go search, searching the Torn Scales. And then normal summon Torn Scales, effect, get rid of Fusion Destiny, chain the Pogblade, think on the chain. So chain link 1, chain link 2, chain link 3. Go ahead and negate. Even though like they did thumbs up the Fogblade, I'm fairly certain that, you know, this is just testing. Like, it's whatever. If you make like, if you're like, okay, and then like, wait a second, let me do something else. Like, you know, it's just testing. Like, if you don't let someone take that back in testing, you are a horrible person to test against. Go ahead and dump Boots. So now Enforcer's negated, and then activate Boots. So go ahead and banish, and then searching out the Shade, and then they can activate the Torn Scales effect here, summon itself out. And then set Shade, we'll misclick. Go ahead and activate Shade. And then they're going to turn that into a Link Spider. And then, okay, so they're going to go for the Underworld here, linking away with the Enforcer. The reason why they went for Link Spider is because this has to use effect monsters. It's definitely something that you want to know. Like, can't use like Nib token or anything like that. So even though this card doesn't like summon very often, you should still like know what it does. Go ahead and Fusion Destiny. They're gonna dump. So yeah, they are playing this over the Celestial. I haven't personally tried this deck out yet, with like the Fusion Destiny stuff. I'm not sure which one I would play. Like, this is cool because like it's a level 3, so like even like drawing it isn't like super bad because an extender plus this would work. But I don't know. I kind of feel like Celestial is just like, maybe that's just from like my testing with like other decks. I feel like Celestial has been absolutely absurd, but maybe in this deck, maybe this card is just better. I really like Celestial though. Go ahead and summon out the Enforcer, and then they're gonna go ahead and battle phase. Boom! Attack and then attack. And then pass turn. Draw C. Okay, so they can dash or summon that out. I mean, they could also just like normal summon it, but yeah. This will also be during like the draw phase, but summon that out. Then going to the main phase. Go ahead and summon out the Psychic Tracker. This was not used because like it was just linked away for this. It wasn't destroyed or anything. And then they're not going to activate anything here because they wanted to. They could have gone ahead and like popped a Psychic or something, but then the opponent's going to like Celestial draw because this wouldn't actually like stop Celestial. If you read this, it only stops when your opponent activates a card or effect that special summons a monster from the graveyard, not just like interacting with the graveyard. So go ahead and Celestial, banish, draw into Talons in order. Okay. Now they're gonna overlay for Breaksword, and then activate Enforcer. So now, Wait, so they tried using Enforcer, but they can't if they're doing it like the. So let's just go how this is going down. So everything just happened. Enforcer went ahead and popped Breaksword. New chain starts. Turn player gets to decide their triggers. They're going to go ahead and trigger Breaksword. Now, the opponent can go ahead and decide their triggers. Are they going to activate Enforcer? Or are they going to decide to activate the Underworld of Goddess to negate? They can decide here which one they want to do. They can't do both. They cannot do both. Yeah, so said how I can't. Yeah, 100%. Also, Franco, I've played against them on DB before. I think a couple times. They, like at the beginning of last format, with Tri-Brigade. Definitely a very good Tri-Brigade player. And this was back when like everyone was trash with Tri-Brigade. So they're pretty good. They're pretty good. You gotta use it on triggers, quick effect you see. Yep, so they are just going to use Enforcer and not activate this, otherwise they could just never trigger this. So they're gonna let the Breaksword go ahead and summon back out, and then they're going to go ahead and activate Talons. They're trying to use the take effect, but if you read this, it says this link summon card is unaffected by your opponent's activated effects unless if they target this card, and Talons doesn't target, it just does. So they're going to draw Imperm and Nid. Then activate Torn Scales. So this will be discarding order. Go ahead and dump the Ancient Cloak. And then, even though like this player has no cards in hand, the opponent's comboing, like they still have a decent amount of stuff through the graveyard, through like just the Fusion Destiny. So go ahead and activate the Ancient Cloak to go search. Searching out Boots. And then special summon out Boots. They are locked in the dark. Yeah, I was about to say like they can't do that. They're locked in the dark from Breaksword. A lot of people would forget this lock. I remember a long time ago with like BA in like 2016, people would like Breaksword and then summon Beatrice or try to do that, and you're just like, nah, you can't. Their end board would just be disgusting because they messed up. Summon out Anaconda. And then Boots effect to go search Fogblade, and then get rid of those for Unicorn. Unicorn effect, go ahead and spin back the Underworld, and then activate the Fog Blade effect, banish, summoning out Rusty. I feel like you shouldn't summon it there just because like you have no link arrow through it, but yeah, they're gonna go ahead and move it. Now activate the Rusty effect. So this is going to go ahead and dump the Ragged Gloves to set Fog Blade. And then go battle phase, poke. So not going for game here. I'm trying to say, like, I don't think there even is a way to go for game here. I guess, like, they haven't used Torn Scales to summon itself out this turn. I'm, like, 99% sure. Yeah, they haven't, so that could be something. I guess they just, like, they've probably gone through all their Fog Blades. They don't have, like, any other Phantom Knight cards to dump and banish to summon. Otherwise, they would, because they could go ahead and, like, banish, dump Phantom Knight Wings, Torn Scales summon itself out, go for access code, gain 3k attack, Wings, summon out Break Sword, boom, game. Then they're going to go ahead and set Imperm, Pastoral Snake. They're not going to go ahead and activate the Dasher effect. They're just going to Snake, get rid of itself most likely. Yeah, go ahead and Snake. I guess just holding the Dasher for like a different time. Like for like next turn. It's like Snake's going to summon itself out anyways here. The only thing you really get punished by, I'm pretty sure, is like a called by. But they probably would have just like draw phase called by, or like end phase or something, like go ahead and call by hit Enforcer before it brings itself out. So summon, then activate the Destiny Hero. It's going to special summon itself out. Once per duel, just go ahead and summon itself out for no reason. Pretty cool. Sea Dragon effect. Chain Imperm on that, so they're going to chain Enforcer and then chain Fog Blade on the Enforcer. They don't have much here now. Battle phase, attack into the Rusty, take damage, and then pass. So chooses to get rid of the Sea Dragon by crashing. Is there a reason for that? Like, wouldn't that just be a body next turn for them to have to like try to keep themselves alive? I mean, it doesn't really matter. Like, they're definitely losing here. Normal summon, and then activate the Sea effect, summon itself out, then get rid of or overlay those for Break Sword. Rusty effect, the pop, that's gonna fall off. Enforcer effect, okay. Battle phase, attack for game. They don't have anything to protect here. So going on to the next game now, we are going to see Ibiza be going first. So opening hands, we have Dasher, Fogblade, Nib, Night Fusion, Destiny. This is a not so great hand. It's crazy because like even like the brick here, like not comboing, you're still ending on like Enforcer, Fogblade, Nib. And that's like not bad. You have like follow up too. And they have Torn Scales, Rhoda, Boots, Imperm Boots. So they're going to start off by activating Fusion Destiny. So the Imperm can be used on Enforcer next turn to go ahead and try to negate it. Pass, draw Torn Scales. That's a few multiples there. Go ahead and Imperm on Enforcer, chain Enforcer, pop, and then Enforcer Graveyard effect. And then activate Rhoda. Rhoda, go search out Ragged Gloves. And then normal summon out Torn Scales. Torn Scales, discard to go dump. And then it's going to dump Fog Blade. And then special summon out the Boots. Get rid of those, go for Cherubini. Cherubini effect to dump. So this is summon 3. Dump the Ancient Cloak. And then Ancient Cloak effect. Banish to go search. Searching Boots. And then Torn Scales effect, summon itself out. So they decide to search Boots there. I mean, guess they might have sided stuff out, so maybe that's why they're going for that specifically. They already did that. Right? Hold up. Am I just stupid? Hold up. Right? Like special summon boots. Yeah. See, I know some things. Yeah, it's only once per turn. Imagine if this wasn't once per turn, that would be a little bit better. Well, honestly, be insane. But yeah, they can't special that out there. Now they're gonna get hit with Nib. Unfortunate for them. Go ahead and summon out. Enforcer also let you play Nib going first is wonderful. Yee. Enforcer is just such a good card. Like, so many people have like underestimated this card until you like actually start playing with it and playing against it, and you're like, wow, this card is tough. Sometimes just like playing just against like an Enforcer and a hand trap is insane. It's actually funny because yesterday in my video I said Enforcer plus like 2 interruptions even when you brick is just like insane and people don't understand, and like that's literally what's happening right here is Enforcer plus 2 interruptions just being insane. And then banish boots to go search. Searching out from the deck. They're gonna grab Fog Blades, so yeah, I mean the Shade just like wouldn't work because they have Imperm. And then set, pass, draw Nib. They could go ahead. Yeah, Dasher, summon out the Nib. Putting up some big, beefy rocks. Enforcer bring itself out during the standby phase. This is pretty good. Denier bring itself out. And then we're gonna normal summon out the Knight. Get rid of those for Cherubini. Cherubini effect to dump. This is already summoned 5. You know, Nib, Enforcer, level 3 is Cherubini. Doesn't look like they're necessarily playing around like a Nib here. They do know... Actually, they don't know anything in hand because like the boost that was searched was already summoned. It shouldn't have been, but it was. Graph Summon Seer. Then they're going to get rid of all of those to go for the Underworld. This is actually played pretty well. Because they want to make it so that way they can attack. Because Fogblade makes it so that way you can't attack it. And they also want to have like Enforcer set up. So maybe in response to Seer effect, they activate Fogblade effect on Enforcer. But the thing is that just isn't enough because they're only at 6,000. Even if they had more. Let's say the Fogblade does get activated on this, they could honestly just let it go through and then remove these for Rusty. And then the Fogblade, when it tries to summon something out, they have Underworld to go ahead and negate it. So, like, just no matter what happens here, it is game. This should also be engrave. Let me see the GGs there. So we see like Droplet, Ash, Imperm. We know that there's talents on their list. We don't know if they kept that in this game, though. But this is definitely a cool deck to see. I like how Phantom Knights is evolving and keep doing and it's not even like the deck lists are like super different. It's just like minor like improvements of the deck. And I like how that's going. It really makes the deck just like cool over time. GG's can't send it to DB Grinder. Okay. What do you mean? GG's can't send to TB Grinder. You can play multiple matches if you want and still send it to me. You can tell me to only like watch the first match. Or tell me that there's like multiple matches and I'll like watch over multiple matches. Unless if it's like 10, then yeah, I'll probably like slim it down to just like a couple of them or maybe one. But we are going to go ahead and see that the 1 match, 3 games is about 43 minutes long. Honestly, I kind of expected that just to be a little bit longer. These decks have some grind to them. So this is like one of those decks that like once it starts going, like its end board is like good enough, and then its follow up is just, it's bonkers. like you're gonna have the follow up of like Ancient Cloak and Torn Scales in Graveyard, and now also with like Enforcer being added to the mix, like you're also gonna have like Enforcer, and then Celestial or Denier, and then also like the Fog Blades become follow up after they're used, and it's like they could also be used as an interruption depending on how the turn one goes. And it's just like, I don't know, it's kinda ridiculous what this deck can do from time to time. But I think this deck will get better over time, for sure. Especially with, like, Brave Token stuff. I haven't tested that stuff out, but it seems like it would work pretty well in this deck. Pretty well. Again, my guess was that Torn Scales Starlight Rare will end up going up by 50% from $175 in 5 months. So, let's see if that ends up being true. I think it will be. But with that being said, the DB Grinder signing off. Peace. Have a nice day. Stay safe.